Alright, wait, just a second. Before I get into the video properly, I'd like you to let me know your thoughts about how I'm presenting this in the comment section down below. And if you do enjoy it, hit the like button. If you don't, feel free to press dislike. But if you'd like to stay in the loop for stuff about motor racing and sim racing, please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to make this a better product for people who are watching this and engaging with it. So if you could please do that, it would mean the world to me. Now, without further ado, let's get into the show. I'm going to talk about F175. I'm going to start off by talking about the 10 teams and their show. I'll go in the order in which they were revealed, which is the reverse order of the constructor standings from last year. Sauber felt a little bit forced to the opener. I felt sorry for Hulkenberg as well, that Bortoletto seemed to get all of the attention. Now, that might just be the way that I interpreted the spectacle, but it was nice to have all of them on the stage anyways. Williams really showed that Jack Whitehall was just not all there as the MC, because James Vowles was so confident, the person that Whitehall was seemingly simping over at the start of this, and Carbon were also a good pairing. I felt that the event really worked well for them in this case. VCARB were probably one of the best ones. Minya Chihuahua, who I'm a massive fan of, actually did an amazing performance and felt like a natural host. There was great humour involved, wonderful presentation, and they made so much of the platform that they had to really connect with the fans as part of it as well. Haas, well, their reveal felt like it would be alright at a PR event, but it didn't appear to make the most of the occasion, at least compared to some of the other teams. Meanwhile, Alpine were very French. There was some strange electronic music, and they refused to elaborate, and was that Briatore with a guillotine for doing in the background? Alan Tyler did do what was asked, but was it the best fit for the occasion? Much like the blue-pink contrast that they've got on this season's livery. Aston Martin were obviously worried about the cost cap with their CGI at the start. I mean, it was nice, but there were some bits where it looked a little bit dated. Honestly, though, they did really well with the occasion. They lent on Bond without getting a lawsuit, and essentially understood Jag's assignment with their recent rebrand and took it up to the next level. Jaguar Tata Group, this is what you need to do for when you're going to be doing the Land Rover rebrand, when you're going with Defender as the brand name. Fernando was a brilliant showman. He was very much himself on the stage. Meanwhile, Mercedes really looked like they saw the pink Mercedes from 2020 and decided they wanted to be the silver Aston Martin. It was good, but given they just went after a team that did the same thing but better, I felt like they were let down a little bit by the running order. The pit stop bit was fun, and it was nice to see both Aston and Mercedes leaning on their history through this sort of montage that was animated in places and made the use of the drivers that they have in their wider pool as well. People like Jess Hawkins or Dorian Pan. Red Bull was arguably the most Red Bull it could be. It lent on car culture and had some fun production. It also did, however, have a predictable design on their car. Like, this is Red Bull to a T. Like, I think drifting, car culture, modifications, cruises, and making the most of your connections in different scenes. I was surprised for how abruptly it ended, though. I don't know if that's a timing thing or a FOM thing, but it just seemed like it suddenly cut out, and then we had Ferrari, who were also very stereotypical in terms of Ferrari sense. They bigged up the big man Enzo, they were extravagant, and they were very artisan in the way that they presented it. Oh, and red. Lots and lots of red. The graphics, I felt, were a lot more for those present than those at home. The CG reflection that they had at the bottom of the screen, I felt it worked better when you were able to see the spectacle on the screens on the stage, because it was just the body of the car. The reflection looked like, oh, we need to make it map out onto a 16:9 canvas. So what it meant was the car itself was not front and center. It was the top half of the screen. And some of the nice little flares that they had with, say, the aero wash were being covered up by the F1 logo on the presentation. I think it's better than some of their solo extravagant launches in the past, looking at you, SF1000. McLaren, well, it was a real statement of intentions. I was surprised there was no Spice Girls for the Hakkinen car, but I guess that would have been because of a potential conflict of interest. Brundle was a great host for the segment, again showcasing there was a great pool of talent available to host the event. Much like with Red Bull, there's not much difference between the car's design this year and last, but unlike Red Bull, it did end abruptly, and they made the most of the occasion from their own point of view, I believe. It was strange to see the nose so clean, though. I wonder what's happening there, like a title sponsor that hasn't been revealed yet, or what. In terms of the show itself, MGK was alright. I think it was good they didn't do any of that country album they had. Take That were definitely a good fit for the F1 brief. They're accounting more apt for the cost cap era, and that jab as relevant as they are to the music scene. But I guess Gary Barlow was a good fit for the brief of how Tory can we look without mentioning a Rwanda deal. Jack Whitehall was on a teleprompter, not that you could tell as the delivery just didn't seem to land. Why did F1 approve a script, though, that was intentionally undermining them in the FIA? I also believe the Whitehall was probably picked because Matt Gallagher wasn't available and they wanted someone who sounded like a Tory but didn't have the same kind of link to the sport. He then tried to do roasts like Ricky Gervais, but just sounded awful. Not that Gervais often sounds better, especially these days. The actual F1 pundits were good. I was surprised that F1 didn't let them run the show. It would have been cheaper than paying Whitehall, and they're more than up to the occasion as the events of the night demonstrated. The Legends table itself is also funny to look at. So Jackie Stewart's new hairdo is cool, very James Hunt, but him being dazzled by the lights just looked a bit odd, kind of Biden looking at a supercomputer kind of odd. It was funny to see Villeneuve there, but he just always wants to be in the spotlight. And I think I saw a John Lacey as well, which was a bit odd. Other celebs are also nice to see, but I'm not sure what the point of deciding to ask Gordon Ramsay to discuss the swearing ban was. I don't know if the scriptwriting department had decided it was going to be a Mock the Week style presentation without consulting the legal department, but either way the jokes didn't land and just fell flat. Oh, and he swore, which, if it was broadcast on British TV, means have a fun time with Ofcom. In conclusion, I think it was great that F1 decided to try and do something like this for F1 75, but it showed in full how F1 is struggling to catch the vibes. Whilst the musical acts and the MC were clearly chosen to reflect a more general audience, they weren't clearly marketed as part of the show when the tickets were first launched and when they sold out almost immediately. F1 needs to decide properly what they're doing with an occasion like this if they want to do it again in the future. If you want to do it for a more general audience, you need to go bigger. Bigger acts, a top level MC, and a bigger venue. Think Wembley if you're going to do it in the UK, or the Bernabeu in Madrid if you wanted to do it again for 2026. But I'd say that this experience is for the fans. And I reckon you could sell out a top level stadium with football price tickets and get more than your return on investment if you went down that route. If you wanted to go more general and appeal more mainstream, that is also easily doable with the same venue and the same price and the same ROI. Trying to do both just leads to bits looking half cooked and people questioning if it's worth doing again, which is a shame because I think they could actually do something really good with it. And on that note, thank you so much for watching and joining today. As I said at the top of the video, please do leave your thoughts and feelings and comments down below. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you didn't, you're more than welcome to also hit the dislike button. And if you'd like to stay in the loop with stuff that I'm talking about in Formula 1, the World Endurance Championship this week, also the WRC, Formula E, NASCAR, please stick around. You can hit the bell and you'll be informed of any uploads I'm doing in terms of full form videos, short form videos, and live streams as well. It's been great to have you with me. And until next time, it's bye for now.